Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and I'm going to be going over the baseball slate today, and we're just going to be doing some lineup builds. Um, we don't even have the lineups yet for, I guess, for Yankees Cleveland, although that could come in pretty soon. So what we're going to do is we'll share my screen, and we'll just kind of work again from. We'll just kind of work the process. Before I do that, though, I may as well just take a look at the projections and see what I would expect to get if we didn't care about ownership, if we didn't care about any of that stuff. Let's just see. And I'm going to be playing both DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm not going to be playing the FanDuel Showdown, but DraftKings will play both this Classic and the Showdown. So if we look through this, you'll see, we'll forget stacks, Flaherty has just he's 80% owned, and it looks as though it's okay. Is it justified? That's a good question. He does have the best projection by a decent amount, by like 4 points. So does that mean that you're gonna have 80% ownership viable? No, I'm not doing hockey today, at least now. I suppose what I'm going to end up doing is probably having to fade this. I mean, you just can't play an 80% owned guy that may not go more than 3 innings. I mean, he could, depending on how he's doing. But again, this is a closeout game. Every game's a closeout game, really. I mean, when you think about it. And none of these guys have that kind of ceiling right now. I mean, they do, but at that kind of ownership, you just can't. I just don't think you should be able to do that. I can't imagine why Peterson or Gavin Williams can't score just as many as these guys in or within a couple of points, and certainly to overcome the ownership gap. That's one thing. With respect to hitting, I would imagine the Dodgers will probably be the highest projected guys. Yeah, so Betts and Ohtani and Edmund at 3,700 looks like he's rating really strongly. But look at some of these lower owned guys from Cleveland. Naylor, Brennan, Andy Pagas. I forget how his name is pronounced or whatever, but he looks like pretty reasonable at 2,800 at only 15% owned. So there are guys that you can get to that are not, not just the star players and not in the star spots or whatever. Remember, it is just baseball, and anything is kind of possible. Like what's wrong with Lane Thomas at 13% ownership? Like, for example, Pete Alonso at 13% ownership. I don't think that's real. I mean, he's got to be more popular than that. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what we do. Now, before we get into it, let me look at FanDuel for just a second, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything over there, because I'm going to play that. And we're going to do the showdown also, by the way. And again, Flaherty just layers above everybody else. And then Lewis Gill or whatever, and then the other two. But again, I just don't think that you can price these guys that much higher than the others in a playoff game where everybody's leash is very limited. So that's my opinion on that. And let's see what ends up happening. Thank you. Okay, so let's upload the projections, which is what we usually do or always do, and see what we would get here. And again, the usual questions in the classic slates: do you play relievers? I just don't. Maybe that's a leak, especially in the playoffs. But what I'm going to do just for kicks, I'm going to allow all the unlisted players. So what that'll do is, even though I didn't project them, like all these guys, all these relievers, or at least get into the player pool. So if the Sims get there, then I'll allow it. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so let's build. Now we're building 5,000 lineups, but I mean, you're certainly not going to need 5,000 lineups. But as long as they can build them for you in 45 seconds, you may as well, right? Yeah, I was one poke away from winning the showdown last night. Who did I need? I needed Chris Taylor instead of walking to get a single, I think. I think that was really all I needed in that ninth inning or whatever it was, the eighth inning. Let's see, what does he want? Oh. And just for everybody's to keep up, we're doing I'm going to do an MMA video just for premium members, do a lineup construction video. And then we're also going to do, I don't think I'm going to do a hockey video for the 3-game slate. And then all kinds of sports coming up. And there's NASCAR tomorrow. There's EPL soccer. There's all kinds of stuff. And MMA, as I mentioned. I don't think I'm going to do a betting breakdown. If I have time, I will. And then obviously football on Sunday. And also NASCAR on Sunday. And League of Legends. Actually, League of Legends, I don't think we start a new slate tomorrow. I think we just finish up today's. Had a very, very good League of Legends slate close out today. We won the single entry and we got a solo second in the lottery, which is very difficult to do. All right. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Crap. So I have to upload my current lineups to the SaberSim entry editor. It allows you to sim these things a lot faster. So you find that CSV, you put it in here. Now it shows up in there. It's a little bit better. Now it's fine. We already built all these lineups. So what am I playing? 50 in this? So just for the hell of it, I wasn't going to sim these things. I imagine I'd get almost 100% Flaherty, which I will. But let's run the sims. And again, for those of you that are new, well, all this is doing is taking these 5,000 lineups and comparing them to what the field is likely to do, and then rank your top 50 based on the projected ROI against that field. So it's kind of like a computer-generated leverage, sort of. All right, so it's doing this in the background. It should be almost done. And then what we're going to do is just going to auto-fill these into the contest. So remember what we have here. We have the relay throw 50. Then we're playing one in the Grand Slam, one in the battery single entry, and one in the warning track. And so what we're going to do, if this ever finishes, and it looks like it's about to finish, or is it? Okay, while that's happening, yeah, Sabres, everybody's kind of pissing me off today. TrueDFS is pissing me off for other reasons. No. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is all done now. And as you see, I mean, not to get too into it, but you're not getting 100% Flaherty anymore. You're getting a lot of Peterson, which I think is pretty good. Now, the other thing you want to consider is whether to make, to extend your min uniques, which I always think is a good idea. But it's a question of how many min uniques to extend to. And what we're looking at are these two main metrics here, this average projected score metric and this min destination ROI metric. As we increase the min uniques, we want to see which increase just collapses these averages too much. So we're looking at 82 and 94. So we go unique here, then we go, this doesn't do anything really, so that's good. The more uniques you can get, the better, really. Okay, so this actually jammed it down to 71, so maybe we should just keep it at min uniques too. But then again, I mean, it is baseball, so having a 71% ROI, I mean, we're not going to complain about that. And so we get min uniques 4, it goes down to 46, but we can still do it. Min uniques 5 is going is going to destroy it. So let's just keep it at this min uniques 4, which is pretty freaking unique. As a matter of fact, I have a feeling that I might get some pitchers versus hitters in this, which is also okay. So we're going to go to look at autofill. And what autofill does is this. So we have it sorted by unique rank. And what this means is that for this entire 53 lineup set, you're going to have 53 completely different lineups. So how do you decide if like one well-projected lineup fits all 4 of these, which one it goes in? I like to just put the biggest buy-in as the top one if I had to, choose. Go here, we go here. And then this should be all good. Save these to contests. And so that's what the Sims will do. The Sims will let you, will get you off these 100% owned plays. And yet still, if you watch your metrics as you kind of screw around, it'll let you play lineups that actually have a shot. All right, what does MR have to say? Hold on, let's see what MR has to say for a second. Let's start. Let's run the FanDuel thing, and as that's running, we'll answer this question. He's like my new hero here. Okay, first thing we do, upload the entries from FanDuel. And then, oh wait, we're gonna download these, put these into the FanDuel hopper, so to speak. Okay, so now our contests are in there. And I'll get to both your questions in a second. I'm on it. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So let's just see. So let's put in first of all my projections. This will keep unlisted players. This and on the new Saber Sim, which is what I use. How do you choose the 5,000 lineup build? Oh, okay. I'll show you. So what you're going to do, if you want to, so again, what we're doing now is just we're the normal default is to use the default Saber Sim contest field as the contest as your field lineups. But as this is going, what you can do instead, is when you go into contests, you see your field lineups. Instead of say flagship MME, you hit the arrow down, and then you'll go to builds, and then this will be build 1. So what this is choosing your 5,000 lineup set as your field instead of the flagship MME, if you want to do that. And I'll get to you in a second, MR. But let's just do this first. Okay, so same thing. When we look first, when we're non-simming, is we're getting 100. Oh, not even. We're getting only 57% flarity, which is interesting. Oh, I have to do something with my business here. I want to make sure that my portfolio uploaded. Okay, so this is simming right now. Yeah, I couldn't find it for just a couple of minutes. Also, Depope, it's not. Whenever you have a new out overlay or whatever you call it, new look, you have to. They try to put things where you'd expect to find them, or where it's been better, where it's good for you to find them, as opposed to where they were. And you just have to get used to it, I think, or go back to the old Saber Sim. So this is continuing to struggle. Oh no, here we go. And then just to show you, well, first of all, flarity now. We're actually getting more flarity after we sim these, which is interesting. All right, let's go to, again, min uniques. Let's go to min uniques 2. And it was 99.82. Now 98.81. Now 97.71. This is still pretty good. And then it kind of crashed a little bit. So Min Uniques 4, though, I'll go with this. And then what are we getting? A Flaherty. He's like my main. Okay, so only 41%, which is cool. I like this, actually. So again, we'll go into autofill. We're going to put the biggest buy-in here at the top. Save to contests. And boom. And then we will upload these to FanDuel. And then we're going to answer my man's question, and then we will go to this showdown slate. Now again, when we get these lineups, if we get some lineup surprises in the Yankee game, we're going to have to change all of this. Okay. What are we saying here? Can you help me out? I can only get 4 players from each team. So I'm going to have a runoff. I have no idea what you're talking about. I can only get 4 players from each team, so I'm going to have a runoff.
Sound Dimensions is here.
Oh, I didn't know they were actually going to come. I can't hear a doorbell. Okay. Okay, you could send it. Where are they right now?
Right here. What do you want?
All right, hold on one second. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, 2 things. Hey, I don't know you guys are coming. First of all, you go downstairs. The Sonos amp has just no power. Okay. Take a look at that. And then when you're done with that, we already did the one up here. So the left TV, the remote can turn it off and on, but it can't control the channels.
Okay, so we'll just look at the inverter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go downstairs. I'll be with you guys in a few
Well,
minutes.
which door is the?
Right there in the basement down there, and you'll see it's completely off.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And I'm like right here. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a single entry. Okay, so I don't know what I just don't know what you're asking. So what do you want to know? 4 players from each team, so I have to have a runoff. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But in the meanwhile, I got a lot of variance going on here in the house all of a sudden. So I have to do the showdown slate pretty quickly. All right, so let's go into the showdown slate. And first of all, let's get to the right date here, right? No, mostly for NHL, I would not worry about correlation at all. All right, so let's go to showdown for the Mets. Download, upload. And okay, so we have our contests in here, which is good. Now we'll do is we're going to go to, I saw that. We're going to upload the projections. Now, again, we only have the classic slate projections. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to get this, they're going to yell at you. They're going to say this. Wow, we can't match these 20 players. You want to know why? Because these are not in the, I was doing the Dodger game. Oops. See, this is what happens. All right, that's fine, but we won't do that one yet. We'll do the Yankee game first. Live poker tournaments? No. Yeah, I am firmly retired. Let's see. Oh, you never know, though. Okay, so once again, these are already done. So we have these, at least these contests in. And once again, we're going to upload the classic slate file. It's just kind of a shortcut. But you're going to get this. They're going to yell at you. They're going to show you all these Mets game guys. So you just ignore them. But you're going to include unlisted players. This way you get your showdowns. I mean, your relievers. So then we'll just build 2,000 lineups just like that. And I try my best not to get too cutesy with this. I don't try to leave money on the table. I think people get way too crazy. I think that you're going to get crazy enough just the way SaberSim's algorithm works, as you'll see. I mean, I think you get like a whole bunch of relievers and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I've had some unique lineups that have really been battling. I think we caught a full takedown in one of these showdowns, one of these playoff games. So I think for showdown, I almost want to automate this process. You do this, okay? You get the lineups. You literally don't look at them. If you start looking at who you have in showdown, that's when you're gonna drive yourself crazy. But let's just do this again. Let's sim these things. And again, they already have the contest saved. And then we're just going to do the same thing as before. You're going to take a look at the min destination ROI after this gets built, of course. Let's actually put well, actually, this is good right here. And 74.5 min destination ROI. And we'll just keep doing this till this crashes. And I think that's going to be enough. When it goes to 4, it'll usually go underneath. Yeah, so it goes negative. So min uniques 3 seems to work. And as you go down, I think you'll probably get some of these relievers, which is kind of what I want. Yeah, the Cade Smith, Tim Herron, Ian Hamilton, like all these idiots. I should say idiots. They're really, really important for these types of slates. And then once again, we'll go autofill like this. Boom. I gotta talk to these guys a second. How'd we do? You can come over here. So what happened?
We're gonna have to swap the amp.
Oh, I feel better. Okay, so it wasn't anything I did. Okay, so it's just not getting any power, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab it from the truck.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, terrific. Okay, so all we're doing is saving to this contest. Why is it not giving me my lineups? It's loading them. I don't know what the problem is here. I mean, I could certainly do this, right? I could save them to my CSV. This is getting so slow on me here. So yeah, I'm really not interested in waiting for SaberSim right now. I'm telling you, you ever have one of those days like all of your technologies just start to rebel on you at the same time? But as I like to say, it's not this one. As I like to say, it's hard enough to win. What 2 pitch in a single entry? Fine. I would play Lewis Heel, and then I would play Jack Flaherty in a single entry. Okay, and this goes here. Save. And this. Yeah, everything's been very slow. I said everything's rebelling on me. And unfortunately, guys, that's really all I have for you. This is like the full process built just completely live here. So if this wins, I mean, God love everybody. Let me just see if this finished. Oh, it did finish. Did it finish finally? Let's see. Hold on. Did it ever save? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Wait, but now I have one of these. Who's out? Oh, Hamilton is out? Well, that's fine. Is he out or is he? All right, so let's get rid of this then. And then we'll do it this way. All right. So again, I'm sorry that wasn't particularly entertaining, but this is the process, and this is what I do. Let's double check, make sure we have everybody we need here. Let's go to the showdown. We have a bunch of bow wows here. Yeah. Who is this? Who is E. Zabrowski? We're gonna find out. Look at all these. Some of these guys I never heard of. We'll see what happens. Let's see. When's the last time E. Zabrowski played? Yeah, he's in there. He gets in sometimes. All right, we'll see. All right, that's going to do it. We'll be back. I'll be back a little bit later, maybe for some hockey. I'm not sure. Worst case, you'll see me with the MMA stuff.